Yes, 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 people, what's going on? Arsenal beat Everton 1-0 to the Arsenal 1-0. You love to see it. It's a hard-fought victory. We fought to the very end to keep that goal lead that we got, but this game was a very, very different game in the first half. The way the game started, it was very strange. We tried our best to break them down. We weren't able to do much. It was a very physical game to begin. And you know what? We thought we scored the opening goal. Gabriel Martinelli, I thought he scored the opening goal, but it was ruled offside as Eddie Nketiah came back into play from an offside position. Now, I'm going to add my boy Gunnar Souls in the building. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as I continue to give you guys my reaction to the game. It was a hard-fought victory. Leandro Trossard came in for Gabriel Martinelli, who ended up winning us the game with a beautiful strike off his weak foot, off the bar, off the post, and in. And that no goalkeeper was stopping that. We had to be extremely clinical. This Everton team, they give you a chance. You have to be clinical to finish off your dinner with Everton because they play two low blocks and their two attackers don't even get forward. They help out defensively too. So we needed to stay on a point. On the other end, the game plan today was different. David Raya started. Ramsdale was on the bench. Fabio Viera started. Fabio Viera started and Havertz was on the bench. And Eddie Nketiah started and Jesus was on the bench. So Arteta did some rotations and it worked out. It worked out. I thought Fabio Viera had a fantastic game. There were some shaky performances from the likes of Bukayo Saka and others. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But in the whole grand scheme of things, I thought the team played well. I'm just wondering, why is it that we start so slow in games? Because that was something that I picked up on. We started very slow in the game. We did not do well from the jump. But in the second half, we rode our luck. We grinded it out. And to be honest, I don't remember too many chances Everton even had in this game. So you could say Raya had a spotless game, or you could say he didn't have much to do in the first place. But yeah, let's get into some of the comments. Big up everybody in the comment section. I'm going to be live twice today. So yeah, next we got to bring on that Champions League. We're back for the Champions League. You already know what it is. And we're doing 2 videos today. So we're back again at 8:30 with the boys to talk about vibes from the six. We're going to cook those Manchester United lot. We're going to cook those Chelsea boys. You are 3-point collected. Listen, if you hit that like button right now, if you got 3 points this weekend, my guy Gunnar Souls in the building. Bro, I'm gassed. It's a 1-0 victory. It was a shit game, but we got the win. That's all that fucking matters. Sorry for swearing, but oh my God, bro. I thought for a second we're going to lose. I thought this game was going to be a situation where they draw last minute and they equalize and we're going to be fuming. But I am so happy going into that Champions League game, going into that North London derby. There's no stress. We collected the 3 points again and we stay on bar with Tottenham, Liverpool, just behind Manchester City. And this game, it was a hard-fought victory, but we deserved it. We worked our ass off that entire game. And the goal, did I mention the goal was beautiful? Poetry in motion, the passes between each other. And Bukayo Saka got an assist. Once again, poor game, but he gets a GA. It's hilarious. And to the Chelsea fans celebrating Kai Havertz, we don't care. We don't care. You want to know why? We celebrate points on the pitch. You guys celebrate points on Twitter. Anyways, go ahead, bro. That's a bar, by the way.
Yeah, man. You know what it is? I'm just happy that we won because this is one of those games where, let's be real, we were gassing ourselves up. We were trying to, get up for this game and be like, yeah, we're definitely going to win. We're definitely going to beat them. But deep inside, there was that little bit of, are we going to do it? I mean, all of us, what did we predict? Like 1-0, 2-1s? Like, no one predicted that we were going to beat them. So the reality is we got the win. We got the victory. We got to see David Raya play. We see, unfortunately, Martinelli had to come off due to an injury. I'm still not too sure what it is, but we got to see, we've got to see Trossard play. What a blessing that is, man. To have someone like, was it a hamstring? Is it a serious hamstring, or is it just like one of?
No report.
All right, we'll find out. But I mean, even then, what a blessing it is to have the depth that we have in terms of Trossard being able to come on. It doesn't impact our game. He did elevate it to some degree, especially with Eddie Nketiah being on the pitch.
What it was, but from what it looked like, from our perspective, it was a hamstring injury, in my opinion.
But hopefully he gets, he comes back quick. But we do have the likes of Trossard, we do have the likes of, ESR that can play that position as well. So we are blessed in depth, which is so good to finally see. I'm not saying it's good to see injuries. I'm just saying it's good to have the depth to at least cover for those injuries. And, we can even see the likes of Havertz play that. But I digress. But in terms of the game, I'm happy, man. Like, look, we've got 4 wins, 1 draw. We're going into the North London derby undefeated. One of us is going to have to take an L. So it's going to be good. And I mean, this is another ground conquered, is what I'm saying to people. This is one of those grounds that we went to. We didn't have a good time. We haven't won since Arsene Wenger. The likes of Petr Cech being in there, Mustafi being in there, Ozil was there, Lacazette was there. And now look at us. We dominated. It wasn't a pretty victory in any sense, but it was one of the best ways to win, because we got the goal. We did what we needed to do. We tried a few things. Our set pieces are looking like we're starting to be a bit more creative with them. And in terms of, mixing it up and trying things, it was the same pattern that we seen at Manchester United, by the way. We were doing the same things several times, and it finally paid off when it needed to. We did this against Everton. We did it about 3-4 times prior to us scoring the goal, and it was like the opposition didn't wake up to what we were doing. Against Man United, back post, 94th minute, Rice scores. This game, we were holding the ball, we were kind of time wasting to the very inches of those seconds, and then we played the ball. So we're evolving, we're winning in different ways, and I think for me, we've got to be happy. Look, we're not going to have the scintillating start that we had, but at the beginning of the season, at least for the first 10, maybe 15 games, just get the results. And the last 10 games, just get the points. That's all we need. I don't care whether we win 7-0. I don't need it right now.
Facts. That's all that matters. Now, let me just go to the comments. Big up my guy, Ozan Kabak, with the super chat. Big up to you, Ozan Kabak. Yes, he is. Yes, he played center back. Big up Egal, big up Arsenal, breaking the Everton curse. Yeah, man, we had to do that. We had to break the Everton curse. We had to beat those guys. We haven't been able to do it in years, and it just annoys the life out of me. Every time we go there, they play with those 2 low blocks of 4, and they move so well. They stay so compact, and when you're out on the wing, Bukayo Saka, no winger gets a one-on-one. That next person is back there helping out, and you could see that, and it frustrated Bukayo Saka today. Now, just to let you guys know, the best way to get your comments read out is, of course, to submit a super chat. Shout out to some of the people in the comment section. I can see my Gunnar King, my boy Gunnar King is there. Unfortunately, I could not go on the terrace, guys. I have a newborn baby boy, and I didn't have time to go on the terrace and do my own video, plus do my TikToks and everything else. So unfortunately, something had to give, and it's not going to be my own channel. That's just respect to everybody over there in the terrace. But of course, you guys understand that. Now, big up Egal, growing your channel, mashallah. Keep up the hard work, bro. Thank you very much. Make sure you do hit that like button. Of course, I do see you're a City fan, so it's nice to see that we have rivals in here watching. We're gonna first, if you haven't been here before, what we do is we break down certain talking points in the game, and then we move on to the player ratings. So I think the first talking point in the game is going to be the team lineup. Then we're going to go into the offside decision and what people thought about that. From there, we're gonna see where we go from there. But we're gonna also have to talk about Raya, Ramsdale, everything across that lines. Big up to my guy Gunnar King. Big up to Wild Animal in the building. Sign Ivan Toney. I didn't think Ivan Toney was that bad. Egal, Terry should come on your channel. He should. Big up Ben in the comment section. Of course, you guys can also become channel members. If you want to know how to become a channel member, the link is right here. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. And yeah, I'm in a good mood, guys. I'm happy. Why wouldn't we be happy? Don't let these negative Nellies get in your head and tell you can't be happy when your team wins, because that was a hard-fought victory. Arsenal of old, we would have dropped points in that game. Arsenal of old, we would have conceded a goal and they would have equalized in that game. Arsenal of old would not have gotten out of there with 3 points. And that, you guys know, that is a fact. We know this. We know the old Arsenal, we were not good at doing these things. And we had to manage this game. This was a game where Mikel Arteta, I was frustrated with him to begin the game. Bro, I was so frustrated with him. And the lineup, I seen the lineup and I'm like, yo, he switched it up. But it's funny. You want to know why it's funny? Because we asked for him to switch it up. Arteta, you need to make changes. Why are you always doing the same lineup? Raya comes in. Fabio Viera comes in. Eddie Nketiah stays. Guess what happens? Oh my God, Arteta changed it up. Why did he change it up? Guys, you guys are so contradicting of yourselves. Calm down. Raya is a good goalkeeper. Fabio Viera actually looked really good in deputizing in for Kai Havertz. And Eddie Nketiah was quite Eddie Nketiah. He wasn't the best of the best. But at the end of the day, we know what Eddie Nketiah is. For what he is, I didn't see him have a bad moment in the game, like terrible moment. I don't know why people are picking on him so much. The offside was offside, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But I thought the two guys who came in Raya and Fabio Viera, I thought they did really good. And I thought that was where we should probably begin. So what are you saying? What do you think about Raya's performance? Because I thought he was spotless.
Yeah, I mean, it was everything that I kind of expected from his Brentford days, especially with, his set pieces, his ability to actually take on more physical opposition. He probably handles those situations better than Ramsdale does. And I think maybe there is a tactical element to why David Raya played this game over someone like Aaron Ramsdale. Also, we've got to look at the Champions League. If we want to get into that, I can. But in terms of the two individually, before we go into the why Ramsdale and why Raya, and in terms of Fabio Viera, I mean, he deserves a start. He had scintillating impacts of performances, and he needed to get that opportunity to actually prove himself.
Think he started?
So for me, I mean, this is my theory. I've always said I can be wrong on this theory, but my reasonings behind it is you've got to look at the people who does not deserve to, but should be starting that Champions League game against PSV are the ones who got us here. They're like, I know Granit Xhaka isn't here, but it would have been nice to see him maybe play that game. But, Ben White helped us, Ramsdale helped us, Saka helped us, Martinelli helped us.
Watching from Amsterdam.
So for me, it's like, if we have to give David Raya an opportunity to play, Everton's the perfect time. So what I think the conversation that must have happened is, look, Raya, first Champions League game, I'm not going to play you. The reason is I want to play Ramsdale because he got us back into the Champions League. And it's a moment. You have to give those players a moment to get their confidence, to get their belief, to get their kind of, love for the club there. And I feel like that's what's happening. I mean, look, I can be wrong. I can hold my hands up and go, you know what? I'm completely wrong with my theory. And Raya ends up starting on Wednesday. But that's the one I'm going to go with until I'm proven wrong. But in terms of the two individually, in terms of their performances, I mean, you couldn't ask for more. Fabio Viera being positive, trying to make things happen. I will criticize one thing. His decision-making was a bit weird today. I'm not saying it was awful, but there were moments in that game where I think he could have been a bit better. And when he came on as an impact sub, those decisions were a lot sharper. So that's what I want to see again. But he needs time. I mean, it was his first start in a very, very long time. So I'm not going to get too much into him. I think both of their overall performances were clean. They were what we needed, ticking things over, not scintillating, but not crap. I thought they were good performances.
David Raya had 34 passes, misplaced only 2 of them as a goalkeeper. That is what you need from your goalkeeper. Long passes, he had 9 of them, and the 2 passes that were misplaced were long passes, right? When it comes to chances and saves, he didn't have to do much. We really didn't face many shots. I think we faced maybe 1 shot the entire game. I don't even know how many shots they had. Let me check. Everton had 8 shots. I think only 1 of them was even close to being on target. None of them were technically even good enough chances to be threatening, right? And they all came, I feel like, in those final minutes. None of the only like 1 or 2 came in that 32-minute period when we looked sloppy after Martinelli's injury. But yeah, it was a shaky game though. The first half was annoying. Let me tell you why. We played well for 30 minutes of that first half, but we never really did anything with the ball. We didn't create any chances. We didn't really make anything threatening. If we did get an opportunity, we'd have to be extremely clinical. And when I say clinical, I mean Gabriel Martinelli doing the finish that he does, like the Henry-esque finish, or Bukayo Saka getting the ball and having to shoot near post with his right foot. Like those kind of chances were the kind of chances we would have to get in order for us to finish in this game, because they weren't going to give us any good opportunities. The best chance in that first half was actually a Ben White strike from outside the box. It just goes to show you how frustrating Everton's compact low block was for us. And from the 30th minute, we got sloppy for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes there, we got really sloppy, and it was scary because they had a chance with Beto, Saliba got him out. They had another chance when Trossard'S slipped over the ball. Luckily, we cleared it out. Every time they got a chance, we at least had one more person there to defend and do their job. So we were on point. We were switched on mentally this game, because if we had a lapse of concentration in those 4 or 5 minutes that we had a poor stretch, that was the most worrying part of the game, was in that 30th minute, 35th minute part after Gabriel Martinelli got injured. But hey, it all worked out and we held on. Now, I'm going to now talk about the next part that everyone was annoyed by, the offside. It was clearly offside, in my opinion. I don't usually go directly for the referees and also agree with everything they do, but I'm not going to sit here and cry like a crybaby when we've been making fun of Manchester United all week. Guys, Eddie Nketiah is offside. Now, if you want to debate whether Gabriel Magalhaes meant to pass the ball to Eddie or it was deflected off the player and he made a back pass, that is a different conversation. If I'm just going to speak directly about what they said, which is the offside, it's offside. If the player kicked it back to Eddie Nketiah, then it's onside, but I'm not going to sit here argue for that. At the time, I said that's no excuses. We have to move on. We have to kick on because that happened so early in the game where we cannot complain. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's down to interpretation, isn't it? Like the ruling is, if it's not a deliberate play of the ball, then it's not off. Like it's offside. But if he deliberately, let's say Beto deliberately played that, then it's onside. So for me, it's a bit of an interpretation when it's a matter of this where it deflects off the player. Now, for me, look, it was so early in the game. Just get on with it. It is what it is. They didn't actually get the decision wrong. It's one of those very 50-50. One day it could be given, one day it won't be given. And it is what it is. We won the game. And I agree with the decision personally.
Okay. Now moving on to the comments quickly. What do the people in the comment section see? Eddie Nketiah definitely is offside. Eddie's left foot just by a bit. Yeah, 100% I agree. Big up, guys. Link, please. Would be fantastic. Please, fantastic win. Yeah, I'm not sharing the link, my friend. Unfortunately, it's just I'm just gonna be doing the videos, just me and Gunnar Souls. When I do a call-in show, though, I'll definitely do share the link there. I just feel like it's just easier to get the show over with because today we only have a short time window between Vibes from the Six and this show, of course. So I'm just going to keep it with me and Gunnar Souls. But of course, if you want to leave a comment down below or leave a super chat, that's the best way to get involved. Now let's talk about Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli went from scoring a goal, it getting ruled offside, to him walking off the pitch. It looks like it's a hamstring issue. Very unfortunate. He hasn't had a good start to the season so far, in my opinion, in Gabriel Martinelli. A lot of our attackers really haven't, but it was nice to see him arrive for a moment. I thought that goal was a good goal. He took it well, but unfortunately the goal was chalked off due to offside, and he went off injured the next moment. When it rains, it pours. He literally was just unlucky today with both injuries, fitness, and the offside. I don't think there's nothing else we can really say on that. What are you saying?
No, I mean, look, we're prepared for that. If one of these players do get injured, we've got the depth behind them. It's up to now Trossard or ESR or whoever ends up playing on the left-hand side to stake a claim. That position is up for grabs. So, I mean, look, it's unfortunate. I really do hope it's just one of those where it's a couple of weeks and he's back. But if not, we've got the cover. When we're not panicking like we were last season, like, oh my God, Martinelli's injured. Who the hell are we going to play? It's a case of we've got the cover. We need to keep moving. It's a long season, and hopefully it's not too bad. That's pretty much all I've got to say. I mean, not a good start, but then again, most of our players haven't played to the levels we expect them to play at. It's not just Martinelli, and obviously we know Gabriel Jesus unlocks Martinelli. So either way, we would have had to wait for that to happen. It is what it is. It happens. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the breakthrough. And the reason why I'm calling it the breakthrough is because that's literally what it was. That was the breakthrough moment. That was the moment where we felt like, you know what, we could finally win this game. Because I didn't think we were going to win this game unless we had a moment of clinicalness from our players. And we have not been clinical all season. That's just the reality. We have not been clinical. But Leandro Trossard, with his weak foot, striking the ball where no goalkeeper could stop it. You put Alisson and De Gea and friggin' whoever else you have, the best keepers in the league for the last couple of years. They're not stopping that. Off the bar and in for using his off foot to score that goal. Beautiful strike, match winner. What a thunderbolt. And I just got to give him credit because he didn't drop his head. There was numerous moments where he was the only person that was doing anything in that attack. Everybody else kind of seemed like they were scared to go against their man. We were kind of robotic. at times. It felt like a pep team where you have wingers that can do more, but they're not doing more. They're just passing the ball back every 2 seconds. Like, remember that clip of Jack Grealish the other day where they said, oh, look, he's saucy, but he's only just passing the ball back? That's what I felt like Bukayo Saka was doing the whole game. So it was nice to see Trossard do that. And it was actually Bukayo Saka who got the assist for this goal. But I'm just still disappointed in Bukayo Saka because I feel like I have such high expectations for him. I'm here talking about Trossard's goal, but I'm also talking about what I'm disappointed in at the same time. It's kind of crazy to think we won this game, but I'm somewhat underwhelmed by the performance, but happy with the result.
Yeah, I mean, this is the epitome of, like, sometimes you've just got to shoot and something can happen. And this is one of those moments. He got the ball. He didn't think about it. He didn't take that extra touch. He just shot and it went in. And I think with Trossard, he is probably, like, if you're talking about the Arsenal squad, him and ESR for me are two of the most clinical players that we've got at the club in terms of how many shots they can convert. And when it comes to those set pieces, clearly things that we've been working on. And for me, it's one of those ones where we need to keep continuing with our creativity and set pieces. That was clearly going to unlock them. And yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about. This game was a bit weird. There's not a lot of positives. I mean, we dominated. It was slow. But Trossard, I think a lot of times there was a moment where he got the ball, he drove forward, he passed it on to, I think it was like Fabio Viera or something, and then they just stood on the ball. And I was like, what are you doing? There was a moment to just pass it back to him. And you're right, it was very robotic, it was very slow, but Trossard was one of those sparks that constantly made things happen in tight spaces, dribbling his man, trying to take him on. So for me, like, it's unfortunate Martinelli got injured. I'm not saying, I don't know what the right word is, but it's kind of, that substitution had to happen because Martinelli wasn't going to do what Trossard did, but Trossard made this game a winnable game, and that's the way I see it.
If it wasn't for Trossard trying things, who else was trying things? You're right. And what was annoying was Zinchenko usually tries things, and he usually slots the ball in between the defenders, the two defenders for the winger. They only tried that once the whole game.
Yeah.
And it was like, luckily we got the goal. A lot of people are going to say it's a smash and grab. I agree. It is a smash and grab.
But who cares?
We did. Yeah. Who gives a shit? We walk out of there with the 3 points.
But the thing is, do you know when I kind of understand the banter is if we sat here and said, we're going to beat them 5-0, we're going to beat them 6-0, then I kind of understand, where people are coming from.
I always think it was going to be a cagey game.
Yeah. Everyone predicted a 1-0, 2-1. No one predicted a absolute hammering. So it kind of went the way we thought it would go. So I don't get it.
Yeah. You know what? We got to talk about Raya and Ramsdale because this was they obviously. We were told they were going to do this. People always said when you have two keepers, they're going to show the keeper on the bench and they're going to try to make a thing out of it. Did you think Raya had a great game? Because I thought he did. But was it a thing where it's like Ramsdale needs to be worried, watch out for your back? No.
All right. Controversial.
Ooh.
Raya did have a good game, but Everton was shit. So, like, I'm not saying, look, this doesn't mean I'm passing judgment on Raya because I do think he's an excellent goalkeeper. But I don't know if this is the game to sit here and go, that's it, it's over for Ramsdale. This is it. He can never, ever start again. Because for me, what did Everton actually do that made you think, oh, yeah, David Raya is the one? For me, I still think it's up in the air. And look, it is what it is. Like, we've got two brilliant keepers. They're both going to play. And it's just about managing their minutes, man. I'm really not concerned. I don't know. Like, we've got Champions League midweek. One of them was going to play that. So one of them isn't. Now it's Ramsdale that's going to play on Wednesday. And then he's going to play against in the North London derby. It's more than likely going to be Ramsdale again. So it is what it is. We need to just stop crying and just understand we've got a good squad of players. We've got good depth. Yeah, it's as simple as that for me.
You know what? This is an interesting comment. Ramsdale's a better shot stopper, in my opinion. I remember when Ramsdale came in, people were saying he's a poor shot stopper, and he's actually a better distributor of the ball. Now the opposite I'm hearing. So it's quite interesting how quickly our opinions have changed on Ramsdale as a shot stopper.
No, but this is comparing him to Raya, though, not necessarily in general.
Yep, true. I thought his performance was good, though. I thought Raya's performance was really good, and I thought it was a situation where they basically said, "Ramsdale, you're going to start in the Champions League. You deserve it. We've been fighting to get into the Champions League. It's only right you start your first Champions League game as the first Arsenal game back in the Champions
Because
League."
don't forget, this is at the Emirates. It's the first game back after what is it, 6 or 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Ramsdale, let's be honest, it has been one of the catalysts for us to be in the position we're in. He deserves to start, in my opinion. At least the first game. After that, don't start.
I think that might be why they took Martinelli off so easily as a precaution. Because he did go to the bench. He didn't go straight to the locker room, did he?
No, he went straight onto the bench. He was sat next to ESR.
Yeah, so he's not that bad. Now, Kai Havertz, elephant in the room every game. But I felt like there was nothing to really talk about today.
Do you know what? Yeah, I actually tweeted, I go, Havertz is annoying, right? Not in a bad way, but in a good way. Because everything we want from him, he's not doing. But everything we didn't expect from him, he is doing. Defensively, like winning his duels when he came on, in terms of winning the ball back, he was doing that. But the unfortunate thing is, attackingly, he hasn't offered us enough. And that's the reason why, obviously, I do think he needed to be benched for Fabio Viera. But when it comes to like his overall game, that's the concern. But he's doing everything I didn't want him to do.
And you know what? The guys in the comment section, you guys are not doing what I want you to do. Hit that like button. Understand, you guys have the power to make this channel go even higher and to make my content even better by hitting that like button and letting people know you're enjoying the content that you're watching today. Because we got 66 of you guys right here. There's no reason why we shouldn't have at least 60 likes, because some of you guys have already liked the video and some of you guys haven't liked the video, but you're here anyways. So do me a favor, don't be a freeloader. Like the goddamn video. Ramsdale made some superhuman saves last season, in my opinion. He definitely did. He definitely did. Liked on arrival. Big up John Mack, always in the building. Big up Ram, always in the building. I'm gonna definitely have to give out an award or something soon, man. I see a lot of you guys in the comment section, always here. Big up to you guys. What was the next thing that I was going to talk about? So we spoke about Ramsdale, we spoke about Raya, we spoke about Havertz, we spoke about that guy, we spoke about this guy. There's somebody else we got to speak about, and it's a certain Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka. Now, is it that Saka is not himself, or is it that just defenders are defending him differently and it's not allowing him to be himself? Because I think it's the latter. I don't think Bukayo Saka is having poor performances for no reason. I think the defenders are defending him differently, and they're throwing 3-4 men at him, and he has to find a way to contribute, even though he has 3 people on him. Guess what? Once again, poor game by Bukayo Saka overall, but he gets the game-winning assist. Once again, overall poor performance from Bukayo Saka, but he somehow contributes us to win the game. So is it that we have to evaluate him differently and look at what he's doing at the end of the day, or do we evaluate him for what he's not doing for the 90 minutes? Because I think there should be some in the middle. It should be, you know what? He had a poor game, but he still did something to benefit us. Or it should be a situation where it's like, you look at the overall performance and you say, you know what? I'm willing to give it a pass because he contributed at the end of the day. Or do we get concerned by the overall performance and just say, forget what he contributed? Because I'm in the middle. I'm not comparing him to like somebody like Bruno, who only gets GA. Bukayo Saka influences the game massively in certain situations. There's so many defenders on him. But today, another poor performance. And I'm not saying he's not the same guy. I'm just saying defenders are defending him differently, and he needs to start adapting to find new ways to contribute throughout the 90 minutes, because it's almost like we pass him the ball and there's nothing to do but pass the ball back to Declan Rice. And at times it annoys the life out of me. And I know it probably annoys some of you guys in the comment section. Let me know, because it annoys me to see Bukayo Saka not being able to take men on, always just passing it back, not being able to go one-on-ones, just passing the ball back, not being able to do any of the things that make him what he is, and just pass the ball back. And then one moment of magic, boom, assist. Go ahead, bro. What you said?
You know what? I've got kind of a slightly different take. I mean, this is where Mikel or maybe even Bukayo Saka or the team in general can become a lot smarter and use this to our advantage. Because if we know, for example, Bukayo Saka is going to be targeted by 2 players, 3 players, and they're going to keep him, yeah, guess what we do? Get the movement to be better from the likes of Odegaard, from the likes of Rice, from the likes
Exactly.
of Ben White. And you know what? What that'll do is that creates more space for them because if they're focusing on Bukayo Saka and not on the White and not on Odegaard or not on the other players, which gives us an opportunity to switch the ball quicker. So if we can take advantage of it, it's actually quite a good thing for us because it takes 2 to 3 players out of the game completely for other players to actually have space to do what they want to do. But the problem that we're having is we're not doing that. We're not actually looking at that situation and going, okay, Odegaard, you overlap, you underlap, whatever. Ben White, you come in, add the numbers. I think this is the first game where we actually did that, where Declan Rice was there, Odegaard was there, Ben White was there. And it's the first time I think we've actually clocked onto the idea that teams are going to do this. They're going to target Bukayo Saka, so get the other players involved. Forget what Saka's doing. He doesn't need to do anything. He can become the magnet that moves their defense and opens up the opportunity for other players. And that's how I want to use Bukayo Saka if that's the situation, but also culture him and train him to understand how to beat 3 men. Because let's be honest, Sterling, it happened to him. Leroy Sané, it happened to him. Arteta managed to train him out of, those situations. So we need to now get Bukayo Saka into that situation where, yes, use him as a false runner, as a false target, and get the other players involved.
You know what? You know who did that? Trossard did that. There was a moment in the game where Trossard was in our own box, like where Zinchenko would usually be when we're defending, and he picked up the ball from there and went all the way to the other 18-yard box. That's how far he dribbled the ball by himself. He passes the ball to Fabio Viera. What happens? Fabio Viera just passes the ball back. It's like, what's the whole point of progressing the ball all the way to a player if we're just going to pass the ball back? That's what's annoying me, bro.
That annoyed me, yes. And that's the thing. And the thing is, like, I think what we do is we hyper focus on Saka because he is meant to be that guy that makes everything happen. But I think Terry made a good point, though, because when you think about it, he's got, 4 GA? That's 80% of the game, right? He's had some contribution to, and he's been very poor. Like, people know I've called Saka out week in, week out. But I now want to start shifting the focus because let's use this. If he's going to have 2-3 players on him, use it to our advantage to switch the ball quicker, to get our position better, and actually use him as that target. So that's the way I see it. I think Arteta needs to become smarter on how he sets this team up.
Big up John Mack, says 100%. We got my guy here saying, I think Saka and the team only performing at 85%. Is that what he means? 85%? Yeah, I think he said 85%. Big up my guy here. I always see you in the comment section. Appreciate you. And yeah, we're going to be back later today also, guys. Don is going to be on later today when we're doing the other show. We're going to be laughing at Chelsea. We're going to be laughing at Manchester United. But before we go any further, I have some questions. So we're going to do a segment that's slightly different. And I need the comment section to get involved in this one. So what I need you guys to do is to name one pro that you learn from this game and one con that you learn from this game. So for me, for example, the pro that I learned from this game is we are getting better with our what do you call it, managing of games. Mikel Arteta was not amazing with the substitutions, but as the game went on, we were better at managing the game, and that is a pro. The con for me is that we're slow to start games. As a team, we are too slow to start games. So I need you guys now in the comment section to do similar to what I'm doing. Let me know a pro and a con, and don't pick the same one as me. Pick something different. Don't pick the same one as Gunnar Souls either. Pick something different. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, or if you're watching this on the playback, let me know what you think also, because I know a lot of you guys do watch on the playback. And if you haven't hit the like button yet, what are we doing, people? We got 75 of you guys in the building right now. Hit that like button. It's absolutely free. Now, let's talk about it, bro. I want to know what your pros and cons are, because the slow start is annoying me. I've spoken about it too many times. The managing the game at the end is amazing. But if there was a combination of the two where we could start well and then manage the game, would even be better for me. Because that's what we did last year. Last year, right out the gate, smash you 2 goals. Guess what happens? The rest of the game, we're cruising. We don't do that no more. We don't do that no more. What we do is we shake it. We're shaking it at the end. And I'm not talking about like a shaker or something else. I'm talking about the fact that we are literally scared for our life to not concede in the final minutes of the game, and it can cost us 2 points. Why can't we take 2-3 goal leads? Guess what? Tottenham at home, we're going to smash them 3-0 or 3-1. That's what we're going to do. But Everton away, we struggle. It's just how it is, man. Talk to me.
I think for me, the pros are to Arteta's tactical flexibility in terms of changing up the lineups when it is needed, playing the right personnel when needed as well. I think the con is still got to be, for me, I actually disagree with your pro. I don't think we manage games well enough. There are times where I feel on edge. Like even today in Crystal Palace were 2 games where I felt, I'm not saying anything was going to happen, but it just felt a bit nervy. It felt like the composure was gone. You know, every time someone got the ball, they were clearing it. And I was like, just hold it. Like retain possession, like, you know, gain control of the game. And I think that just needs to improve a little bit in the last sort of 5-10 minutes of certain games. But I mean, then again, it's only 5 games in, so it's a bit, maybe I am being a bit harsh on them, but they're the pros and cons. I think the pros got to be Arteta has become a little bit less stubborn. He is dropping his ego. Like a lot of people were questioning, and I said, look, he will do what's right for the team. We just got to give it time. Secondary to that, like, I think for me, the last 10 minutes today and the last sort of 10 minutes against Crystal Palace, on another day, they could have scored. So that's where my worry comes in, is just the composure to keep the ball. But yeah, it's too early to actually have major criticisms at the minute.
You want to know something? Today is one of those games where it's going to be difficult to figure out who's the man of the match. But at least if you don't just give it to Trossard. But let's just go to, just think about it for a second. 3 points is the pros, cons, Everton, blimey. Another one here saying the pros is the calm nature in the team and not panicking when 0-0, and panicking when, okay, those are 2 pros. We are adapting. That's a pro. Con, we need to kill the game off. I agree.
That's true.
I agree. Can you read this one for me? I'm struggling with this.
Not complaining enough about fouls on Saka is unacceptable.
So a con is that we're not complaining enough. I'm confused.
Yeah, basically. I think that's what you're saying, yeah.
This guy's saying Spurs are going to spank us. Definitely is a Spurs fan, clearly. There's no way you think that. I'm just going to tell you, Tottenham are getting overhyped like they always do. Big up MCFC protocol in the building. Big up, smash the like button, people. Definitely do smash that like button, people. Absolutely do love and all the support from you guys. Pros, starting Raya. Cons, not dropping Saka. That is harsh. That is harsh, if I don't say so myself. What do you think?
I mean, dropping is probably the harsh word. I think resting Saka is probably what I would say. But I do agree. I think Saka may need to be rotated because he clearly something's not ticking with him. But yeah, I mean, I don't disagree 100%, but I'm a little bit and ahhing because he did get the assist.
So you're like, you know what? It's understandable that some people are upset. But overall, it's not the end of the world. Now we're going to do the player ratings. And in the player ratings, we're going to get more in-depth and more in detailed about the players' performances. But I need you guys to get involved. I need you guys to get involved and let me know what you guys think about these players' performances also, because I think it is just as important that we get you guys involved and you guys let us know what your thoughts are as we can give our thoughts also. Now, I usually do put up the player ratings on the board, but today I'm going to kind of do it differently. I'm going to make sure I can read out as many comments as possible. And of course, if you guys do submit a super chat, that will permanently change the player rating to what you've super chatted. So if you don't like the fact that we've given a player a 5, you can give them a 0. And once you super chat it, I have no choice. That's the rating. But for now, and I will be writing these in an article. So if I give them a 0, I'm not going to be giving them a 0 in the article. But of course, I will be posting them on Twitter. So let me know what you guys think, and let's get the show started. Here's one more. Listen to this one. Con, drop Saka for Nelson or Emil Smith-Rowe. I think that's difficult. I think that's too unlikely. It's not going to happen.
I do want to see Smith-Rowe play more, but I mean, there's clearly probably a reason why he isn't.
You know what? That you're right, but I think it might be due to fitness or something like that. But that's just me guessing.
Yeah.
Let's go. Souls, if you can read the comments as I do the player ratings. So we got Raya in the building. Raya's first Arsenal debut. Overall performance, 7 or 8 out of 10. No
Yeah,
question
seven and a
about it.
half. Yeah.
7 or 8 out of 10. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section, guys. I thought Raya composed, no real worries the whole game. I thought he didn't have any issues. And as we're doing this, I'm gonna do my article too. So I'm gonna have my article ready. So David Raya, first Arsenal performance, 7.5. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so we've got Esman saying Raya 8, John saying 7, Alistair Ben saying 7. So 7.5 is probably the right call on that.
7.5 is a solid performance, but he didn't have much to do.
Yeah. I think if you're going on the average of the comments as well, 7.5 is the rating.
Okay. The next one is going to be slightly different. The next one is going to be slightly different. You want to know why? Because what did Ben White even have to do?
I think he was another like 7.5. He did what he needed to do. He marshaled his side of the pitch. Nothing really came down that side. Anything that did, he kind of marshaled it out. And I thought he actually played quite well attackingly today as well in terms of overlapping, being an option. So yeah, I'd say 7.5 for him as well.
7.5. Solid defensive performance. He actually contributed attacking wise in the goal, I think, and the build up in that goal. And he was very good the whole game. I'm cool with giving him a 7.5 also.
Yeah, Esman saying 7, Alistair saying 8, John saying 7, and yeah, that's the only comments for the scores that are coming in.
Okay. Ben White 7.5. They gave him a 7. Mr. Reliable, they called him. Saliba.
I think the whole defense pretty much gets similar ratings really.
Like Saliba another 7.5.
Yeah, because I mean, what did he do wrong?
What did he do wrong? Nothing.
But then again, it's like, what did they actually need to do? I mean, the better situation.
Saliba 7.5.
Yeah.
Actually, can we just give all of them 7s?
That's what I think. Yeah. It was just solid performances, weren't they?
Yeah, so we'll give Ray a 7.5 because it's his first performance, but we'll give Ben White and Saliba
a lot of people doing 8 stuff for Saliba.
I think that's because we like him so much.
Yeah, that's also true. But I do think the whole defense is 7, like, in my opinion. I think the only like Gabriel did have that brilliant ball to who was it? To Gabriel Jesus. Or was it Jesus?
Saliba.
Yeah.
We're still on Saliba. So solid performance, reliable in defense, very cool, calm, collective. Overall performance, I'll give him a 7.
I mean, R9's the only one with a bit of a critique saying, "How are you, man, giving 7/8 for doing nothing?" He wants to give 5 for all
They're
of them.
defenders. They should be happy nothing happened.
Yeah.
Gabriel Magalhaes, 7. No issues really for Gabriel Magalhaes the whole entire game.
Nope. I think another 7.5.
Okay. Once again, 7. Remember, guys, this is our ratings. If you don't like him, let me know why, and also leave a comment down below. Zinchenko, some good passes. I'm willing to give Zinchenko a 7 or 7.5. Actually, he was really Zinchenko gets a 7.5 because he was really involved in the attack, and defensively, we never really had to worry. He was one of the main people who were creating chances for us also with his passes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there were moments where he could have done better with what he was doing in terms of being an option, but overall, yeah, 7.5. I agree.
Okay. What are the comments saying about Zinchenko?
For Zinni, a few have come in 8, 7, 8 at the moment, so they pretty much kind of agree.
Yeah, so we're giving these guys all 7s. Oh, not an 8, 7. 7. And then I've changed his to 7, and then Reyes is gonna stay at 7.5. Rice was like, he reminded me today of Conte. Declan Rice reminded me of Conte because it seemed like at times there was two of him on the pitch. He was everywhere to start the game, and I thought he was really good. I might be biased here, but I'm going to give him another 7.
Yeah, steady, did what he needed to do, marshal that midfield. I mean, we needed the physicality from last season, like in terms of someone being able to handle it, and he did well. He was press resistant, didn't lose the ball in like silly areas or in silly ways. So yeah, 7 for me.
7. What are people saying about Declan Rice? Let me know what you guys think about Declan Rice.
Rice, yeah. John saying an 8.
Rice, baby.
Yeah. Kingsley saying 7. Michael saying 8.4. Can't do that, but yeah. And yeah, that's all we've got. So they rate him a little bit higher. I'd say about 7.5 is probably the average. But yeah,
it is
saying 7.
Certain people are gonna rate him higher. Certain people are gonna rate him lower. It's just what it is. At this moment in time, though, I would say he absolutely deserves the 7. Fabio Viera. If we're giving out all these 7s, Fabio Viera's got to get an 8. He had a good performance. I thought he was integral to our win. He was one of the main people who kept the ball ticking in that midfield. And for stepping in,
I do have to knock a little bit off though, because I do think his decision making at times wasn't that good.
You're right. I forgot about that. We would have had a goal if it wasn't for his decision making. So maybe,
I'd say 7.5. I think he was still, I'd say, slightly better than, but yeah, some of the decision making was a bit weird.
Okay, so Fabio Viera is going to get a 7.5. He had an overall good game, but his decision making in the final third was quite flattering to deceive.
Yeah, a lot of people are giving him 7s, which I kind of do agree with. I thought he was good. I mean, it's his first start in like a very, very, very long time. So I do want to cut him a bit of slack, but at the same time, if you're going to rate him, he was not like, there were certain parts of his game that he needs to improve.
Okay, Odegaard, poor game. Odegaard, based on his high standards, had a relatively quiet game. And it was due to how many different bodies were in the midfield. And I'm willing to give him a 6.5.
I think he should have done better with that opportunity that he got. He shot it straight at Pickford. He should have not gone for power, but more precision and like accuracy. So yeah, like I do think it wasn't his best performance. So yeah, 6.5.
Yeah. So if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I'm literally writing an article as we're doing this. So bear with me. Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka has a poor game and somehow still has the game-winning assist. Overall, I can't give him a low rating. But at the same time, I don't want to give him a high rating. I feel like a 6 would do. But that would be the lowest of the whole team. Almost.
But he was arguably, him and Nketiah are probably the quietest 2 players. I know you got the assist, but barring the assist, I mean, but for the assist, what are you going to do? Give him a 6.5, maybe?
It's just annoying because we hold some of these guys to such a high standard that we can't give them proper ratings. Because imagine if Reece Nelson gave an assist to win the game. I'd be giving Reece Nelson an 8.
But Reece Nelson's probably only going to play like 20 minutes, though, isn't he? So
yeah, but are we judging Saka harshly?
No, because he does. I mean, look, that is Bukayo Saka. So of course, for his standard, I mean, bar the assist, what did he actually do? Even if we break down his performance, he didn't do anything.
So what are we saying?
I'd go like a 6, 6.5. I'd say same as Odegaard.
I'll give him a 6. What are people in comments saying?
I'm trying to see what this. Netweed said 5. Some Saka 7 for the assist. John saying 6, 7. Netweed saying okay, 6 maybe. Alistair saying no, he gets a 7 for me, assist and goal in his. Oh, is his job.
So some people are not liking. they're not.
Yeah, they're saying more like 7 should be what.
A.
Is what they're trying to.
I'm okay with giving him the same as Odegaard.
Yeah, that's what I think. Should be the same as Odegaard.
6.5 is okay. But I wonder who's going to get the lowest rating then. Martinelli didn't play enough. 5.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, he played like 10 minutes, 15
Yeah.
minutes or something.
So I'm just going to say Gabriel Martinelli does not get a rating because he barely played as he came off injured in the what minute?
It was in like the 15th minute or something, 20th minute.
Yeah, so I'm not going to rate him. Let's go to Eddie Nketiah. Then we give Eddie the lowest rating.
I don't think I mean, it wasn't his fault, but he didn't do anything. So yeah, 5, 6. I think it was like a 5 for me.
I think it's quite hard to give Eddie Nketiah the lowest rating out of all the starters, but at the same time, he had the least amount of touches out of all the starters. So a 6, I think, is quite nice.
I'd go 5, but yeah, I mean, if you want to give him a 6, that's fine. In terms of the comments, MDL saying Eddie gets a 5, Esmond saying 6.5, Netweed saying a 2, John saying 5.
Yes, you know what? 5.5.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's fair. 5.5 is fair. How we're rating these things, the logic makes sense today. Sometimes we just go mad and we just say 2. Shit. today we're trying to give some context. Leandro Trossard, man of the match, overall performance was shaky at times, really compact and good at times. Decision making to take the shot, the bravery, overall 8.
Actually, you know what? I agree.
8. I think the only person who can get an 8 on this whole team today, Trossard. I think everyone in the comments.
Yeah, he's the only one who was trying to do things.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna rate Kai Havertz and Tomiyasu. Gabriel Jesus. What minute did he come on? 60 something.
60th. Yeah, about 55th to 60th minute.
I'm not even gonna rate the substitutions. Gabriel Jesus, Tomiyasu, and Kai Havertz. I felt like the rest of the game we just tried to close it out. We didn't really play football.
Yeah, I don't think there was enough time to really rate them. And I think at the point that they came on, we were just trying to hold on to the 1-0. So there's really no point.
Facts. And then, so I got 2 articles that are going to be coming out. One is the player ratings, of course, and also the 5 things. But of course, as you guys know, watching this video, we've covered all of those things. I'm going to be back again at 8:30 for Vibes from the 6. So please do check us out at 8:30 on Vibes from the 6 on this channel. It's going to be live right after this on this channel. We're going to talk about Manchester United. We're going to talk about Chelsea. We're going to talk about Tottenham and the Tottenham hype. We're going to talk about Man City. They always win their games, for God's sakes. And yeah, we'll maybe touch on the Arsenal game again. But for now, I bid you guys adieu. Souls, you got anything to say?
Not really. A good
we got
win.
Champions League coming up, so maybe we can do a Champions League preview on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday will be good. Monday, yeah, I'll talk to you after about that. But yeah.
And then for now, I bid you guys adieu, guys. We're playing Tottenham this week also, so I'm gonna do a bunch of content on North London Derby. So let me know what's up. Should I try to get expressions? Maybe. For now, I bid you guys adieu. You guys have a good one. Peace. Love for the love, people. You already know what it is. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Love everyone in the chat. Please do check us out at 8:30 on 576, as that is the premiere show on the channel. And I'm out of here, people. Love for the love. You already know what it is. Peace.